Hello everyone, welcome. I am Linda Israel and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already created a user account, that way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Are we live? I had to put some lip gloss on. Are we live or is this Memorex? The kids today don't know what that means. Hello, hello, everyone. How are you? It is hot, hot, hot here in Oklahoma. It's 90 degrees today. In my studio, I'm a weenie, so I have air conditioning that ran until 2 p.m. and then it shuts off. So I have a ceiling fan going, and currently it is 75 degrees in my little studio space. So I'm trying not to turn on the air conditioning. I do have a battery powered fan, so if I start to go, it's hot in here, I'm gonna turn it on. I now see that I don't have a hair clip, so y'all are gonna watch me find comical ways to put my hair up if I get hot too. Live and kicking. Julie says it is 42 degrees Celsius where she lives in Australia. Oh, okay, so it's 42 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit, 5.6 Celsius. 42 is not that cold. We're used to that around here. What's cold is when it's windy. When the wind and the cold combines, yeah, that's no fun. And here, if there's heat and no wind, then you might as well just give up because you're going to suffocate. So we're always like, please let there be a breeze. We had an interesting week last week. Tuesday morning, I got stung by a wasp and my foot swelled up and it started itching, but I took some Benadryl or antihistamine and that seemed to get better. And then the next day, there's a place about that big around, about as big around as this roll of tickets. So what is that? 3 inches by 3 inches about around there. And it was turning red and it hurt. Like I hit it, was bruised. So we kept watching it and it itched. I put some cream on it. I kept taking the Benadryl. I kept using the ice on it. And then I noticed today that now it's starting to heal and I have a little bit of a green area, like it was a bruise where this wasp stung me. I have not had a reaction like this ever. But also, it's probably been, gosh, I think it's been 20 years since I've been stung by a critter, a wasp or a bee or something like that. So that was a good start to the week. We had flash flooding. If y'all didn't see the pictures on my personal page, those are public, so you can go there. Hey, Jennifer. Yukon was in flash flooding, and we had a huge amount of rain that hit all at once. And it didn't dawn on me until this past weekend, and we've lived in this house since 1997, that I actually live where all the water floods. Meaning, with the storm drain, which is supposed to help keep the residents near it from going underwater, is right in my backyard, and it goes all the way through town, and that's in my backyard. So if y'all saw footage about that storm drain that is running parallel to Holly in Yukon, Oklahoma, I live off of that. So that was my backyard that I think was probably a good, I didn't even walk, I need to walk down there and guess, but it's probably 20 feet deep. That's how, and then it's at least, gosh, I don't know how wide it's going to be, 50 feet, maybe 100 feet wide. And it was full. It was full of water. It was scary. It was scary. But at the same time, we're okay because we know our house sits up higher. There's a retaining wall in my backyard. So we are not in any jeopardy of flooding. But my next door neighbor is, and their driveway goes down into their basement area of their house. And thankfully, they only had a little bit of water in their garage. Yeah, a gully washer for sure. For sure, Rhonda, for sure. You have a floodway at the back of our house too? Yeah, and here's the thing, Naomi. I know you got Elijah, and I don't know how adventurous he is about going outside, but you need to tell him and to always stay out of those, because something can happen. We could have a freak storm. You can have them there, and the rain just comes down, and kids are walking in that gully, as we call it here, that little stream, thinking, oh, this is just a little lazy trickle of a river. And it is not. It is where the thoroughfare of water that rushes in goes through, and it can take you down. So teach your kids to stay out of those storm drains. They are not a place to play. What else then? Oh, and Henry fixed our refrigerator. I'm going to say yes. It's a win. He's still on the fence about it. Our refrigerator started to not kick on and off when it needed to adjust the temperature. So he figured out what the part was and ordered it, because I kept harassing about it. I said, listen, you need to fix that refrigerator. Because he only replaced one part, it didn't fix it. I said, you have to replace that refrigerator before we go on vacation in August, because I do not want to come back to a broken refrigerator. So he ordered the parts, and he worked on it yesterday, and I cleaned the refrigerator. I took all the drawers out, and I cleaned, and I washed, and so it's like a fresh start refrigerator. So yes, yay, Henry. I had to leave him alone, because has to focus on what he's doing. And he was having an issue with one thing, and I said, well, I could try, let me try something, and that didn't work because I couldn't get it to do it. And I said, well, here's my suggestions. And so he took one of them and went with it. Okay, so I think quite a few of you are here. So thank you for being here and hanging out with me today. I know I just kind of kept rambling on there for a few minutes, but sometimes I don't get to share very much, because currently this past couple of weeks, we haven't had a lot of work at the shop. So to save money on gasoline and eating out, so to speak, I've been staying home. So I haven't had anybody to talk to, y'all. I decided after our live stream last week, on my little notes I had here, I said, Jennifer, I think you were the one that said red and black. You also said sewing, white and soft colors, pastels. And that was from glitter, I believe. And then, of course, we had Australia and then sunflower. So I decided that maybe white and soft colors, and I am interpreting that to be pastel, light, pale colors. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Ah, so you don't have a storm drain. Your backyard is it? It just washes out. Oh, good. Perfect. Oh, well, and truly do teach him that those are not places to play. If he gets out with other guys, little boys, teenagers, and they think it's fun to go down in there and mess around, it is not. So they need to stay out there. All right. So I thought I would do some white based items. Since we did black and white, let's just do the concept of starting or using mostly white and then maybe some soft colors with it. I have here a roll of tickets. I think in the description when you buy these, it says white, but these are kind of a gray color. For example, here is a piece of white cardstock right behind it, so you can kind of see the difference. And they have a little bit of a pink outline. And I don't always use these. I don't know why. I've got a whole roll here on my desk, so I thought we would figure out something to make some small embellishments. You know, we want something that we can stick down on an envelope or in the corner or on a tuck spot. I have a few things, Australia. I need to go back through my stash. Gotcha. Well, good. Well, good. Yes. Tell them things are dangerous. Don't do that. All right. So I have here a few little things. I made a little tray, and I've got some bits of lace. I've got some flowers. I've got just a little bit of this and that and the other. I'm going to get a couple of things out because I think what I want to do is use a ticket as the base. I have some lace here. I see kind of an ivory color. I don't know if that'll be what we want. Oh, here's a bigger piece. All right, so I'm going to get out some scissors. And I think I'm going to cut just a little strip of this. I don't know. I'm just playing around here. You can still see it's a ticket below. Maybe I'll put it this way. And then put a little butterfly on there. It needs something. Oh, you know what? I think I saw a book page. Maybe I've got some, I think this is it Don Quixote? Oh, no, it wasn't Don. I couldn't remember what this was. This is just Spanish. Isn't this right? Spanish? I think it was Spanish. I wonder if I can... All right, this is going to be me all over the place, just doing stuff. So if you have suggestions, you're going to have to make sure you type it in all capital letters so I can see it. And if I don't see it, then Jennifer, you may have to text it to me because I may get off in my own little world. Okay, I'm thinking probably 2 inches. All right, so I've got a little strip, and what if I kind of put this behind here, and then this over the top of it? Maybe we can change the color of the back piece. I have some white acrylic paint that I got out. I think I could also add some color to it. Do you think I should go ahead and add color to this piece? Maybe a pale lavender. Let me show you close to the color. This was one of the colors that I used. Or I could add some paint. Napkins. Okay, I'm thinking, what do I want to do? I think I want some white on here. I'm going to put on some gloves. And give me a little scrap of paper. Vegemite ads. Alright, so I've got this. And I have a little bit of some acrylic paint. Oh no! No, 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 no. I guess the lid wasn't on all the way. Oh no. So I have a mess to clean up. Well, thankfully it didn't get on everything. It just got on a few things. And I might be able to make use of it. Okay. So this got it on here. Thankfully, it still has the plastic wrapper protecting the trim. So hopefully it didn't get in there too bad. And since I've got this on my napkin, I'm just going to wipe it over on this piece of paper to make it a little brighter white. Okay, and I'm going to get another scrap of paper. Oh, wow. It even went all the way over here on my side desk. There's paint splatters. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got paint on the back of my hand. All right, there's paint here. So I'm trying to clean that off. All right. Since I have all this paint here, here's what I did. A while back, I had made some book page elements, and they've just been sitting in my stash. So I am going to take some of this acrylic paint and kind of give it a brush over. Like this one it's ready so you can make it into a pocket. So I just went ahead and just put some on both sides, back and front. And then this is like a little tag envelope pocket, tab pocket. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm just going to, again, try to make them white in case I want to, I could stamp over it. I could add stenciling or another color. But this way, we're starting off with a little bit white. So, I had an oopsie, and as the saying goes, if you got lemons, we'll make lemonade. Don't get mad about it. All right, so here's another one. Here's a tag that has a pocket in it. So I'm just going to keep picking up this paint. Okay, flip it over. I don't know what book this was, so I'm kind of glad that I'm able to cover it up, because you never know if you pick a book that, you know, you can't quite understand what it says, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't want that in my journal. It's like, oopsie. Okay. I'm getting a little pile over here. All right, got some more paint here. I'm going to leave the back because this is a tuck spot here and a spot here. And this is supposed to be like a pocket that you glue down. So I'm not going to paint the back of that one. What else? I've got a couple more. This one has an angle pocket and then a pocket here. So again, we would glue it down. So I am going to go ahead and just add some white paint to it. All right, so this is like an envelope. So I'm going to do the whole thing in case I don't want to glue it down. All right, I'm going to give that a second to dry, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. And then what is this one? Oh, this is like a little booklet that opens up, and you have little pockets. So let's do the whole thing of that one as well. Okay. Hey, Glitter, welcome. I got paint everywhere. All right, let's get another one. This is like a little side tag pocket. So it's a tag but has a side pocket. All right, I got some more paint here. So here we go, spontaneity at its best. You make a mess and you just figure out how you can move on, right? And I did both sides of that, so I'm kind of lay that over there and do this one. Okay. That gives that a time to dry as well. So we can come back to these in a little bit and embellish them or decorate them. Okay. Now, if you are doing this on purpose, you may want to put an extra coat of white paint if you feel like you can see the text too well. Hey, glitter! Well, now you have a white rib. Exactly! Wasn't it you that wanted soft white and soft colors? I hope it was you. I'm trying to remember. All right, I am going to try to do a couple of more using this paint because it's already here. And that way I'm cleaning it up, but putting it to use as well. All right, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. I saw a bigger piece of paper. Yeah, so this is like a page out of a Bible. So I've got more paint over here that y'all probably can't see. Oh no, you can see it. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Oh, and there's another project I wanted to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that one too. Okay. Oh, I think I just got paint on my face. Okay. I'm going to do this whole piece, and then that way, if I need it at any point, I have it already done. Okay. I'm going to let that dry. Now, I am going to purposely do this. I have a paper sack that I'm going to add some paint to it. Hopefully, I won't spill as much, so I'm going to do it a little different. This is going to be my paintbrush. I'm not trying to be pretty. I'm just trying to get a little bit of color. In this case, white. All right, let's flip this over. I'm going to do this side as well. All right, y'all still with me? You'd probably suggest Cats or Alice in Wonderland, but I get those are not really doable without the things. All the things. You have to have all the things. Maybe I should do them. There you go. So you like Alice in Wonderland, Margie. Okay. Oh my goodness, what are y'all listing now? Did I miss something? All right, now I need to clean my work surface now that I have violated the paper sack. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to open this up so I can set it over here to the side to dry. Okay, now let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this and this. I'm going to set this up here to dry and put this over there. Move that. Move these items. Now, where were we? Alright, I've got my cleaner, so I'm going to clean my desk. That's just funny. Alright, I'm just putting a little bit of cleaner on there to help loosen it up that has dried. And I've got a raggy rag that I can use to clean it up. It's not one of my good rags, it's one of my ugly rags, you know, so it's okay if it cleans up paint. I'm using my gloved hand to scrub. All right, let's clean this up. Okay. Okay. Now, I am going to take these gloves off. I may have to go get another pair because these are covered in paint. All right. We'll just hang them there. There we go. All right. Where were we? Okay, I had a piece of lace. I had a ticket. And I had a piece of book page that I painted white. And I was going to put this up here, make a cluster, but I think it needs something else, more texture. So I'm going to stamp on this piece. So let me get a clean piece of paper I can work on. Okay. And I know I use the henna rose a lot, but, oh, I see something else I can use. I have this kind of a Baroque little scrolly filigree stamp. I believe it's from Beeline Designs. Yes, it is. I do not know the name, and since she has retired and we can't get those stamps, I can't tell you the actual name at the moment, but I thought it might look kind of neat. Flatten that out. I'm going to stamp this on here. And I'm okay if it's not a perfect impression. Oh, that's even better if it does that, because then I can do something like, there's paint on the outside of this bottle. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, it didn't turn out. Well, okay. I needed to stand up. So I'm going to wipe this off because it got some paint on it. I may need to add more ink to my stamp pad, but I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to stand up. Let's put it this way. Yeah, let's put it that way. All right, I'm going to let it stand up and put this on here. Oh, that's much better. That is much better. Okay, get this out of the way. Put this over here. Okay, so now if I take my Distress inks and add a little bit, I don't know, is there more paint? Oh my gosh, there's more paint. Ah, it's everywhere. Ah. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Okay. I think, see, my hands already got dirty again. Ah. Are you selling your journals? Yes. Yes, I just haven't posted them online yet. So if there's one that I have already made that you are interested in, send me a message and I will tell you if I still have it. I haven't been going through the process of adding it online. I feel like I need something else underneath here. I have a piece of, or maybe what I should do is quit trying to look behind it, but put on top of. Oh, okay, now I have a question for y'all. Should I use my white thread in the sewing machine or black thread in the sewing machine? I currently have black thread in there. And here's what I'm thinking. Putting this like that. And then cutting this to be, let's see. Let's cut this one here. Cut this one a little bit shorter. You can't really see this white, so I'm going to take my Distress ink and just give it a little bit so it's not perfectly white. All right, so I think I can stitch right through this, and then if I didn't lose it completely, somewhere I have a butterfly. Here we go. That we could put on here. I guess in this case it doesn't really matter what color. Black thread. Okay. I'm kind of thinking the black thread only because it is what I have in the machine, but I think it would show up better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this across. Oh, I guess I should show you. We're going to go to the sewing lamb. Here we go. Sewing lamb. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to put a zigzag stitch, and I'm stitching onto a scrap piece of fabric here. And I'm going to make sure that this is going to catch all these pieces. And let's just go all the way across. All right. I've got paint on my scissors. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to cut this apart and put my scissors back in here for now. So that made a nice little start to a thing, right? All right, put the sheep away. So I've got that started. I'm wondering if I should, I'm going to try something here. I've got some white thread. I also have some cheesecloth. Maybe I could use a little bit of both. So I was thinking of putting a little thread, but I think a piece of cheesecloth might actually be better here. And I just had it. There it is. Robin's not here to yell at us not to use cheesecloth. Alright, I'm just cutting a little piece off of the big hank here. And I'm going to pull this apart. Maybe. There we go. And get just a little nest. What do you think? Yeah, you can color them or leave them the way they are. Okay. I think I want one other something on here, and it is in here. I've got some yarn. What else is in here? Some little fuzzy yarn. Okay, I'm starting to get hot in here. It's only got up to 76. I Robin's working. She's having to work now. Her job kind of promoted her, and they promoted her to work more. Oh, looky, I have a chopstick. Okay. All right, chopstick for the win. All right, so I think I also need maybe a piece of ribbon. So I'm going to cut 2 of these like that. And I probably should have put that on sooner, but you know, we're trying different things here. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to get a couple of pieces of that. And that was going to go underneath. And then this will go here. I think that'll work. All right, so here's what I'm going to do though, is I'm going to lay that all on there. And I just saw, I got a little piece of paper. So I'm going to put that on here. Make sure I've got it all up. And I'm going to just put a couple of stitches in the middle of that so that I'm not adding more glue. So I'm just going to line that up in here and give it a few. So that, oh, I guess my bobbin thread needs to be rewound. It's always one thing or another. It's not the same anymore, is it? Okay, so that looks good. And then I'm just going to put this right over the top of that. I may do this. The paper was there so that my presser foot didn't get stuck. All right, I'm trying to get some of this beacon glue. Put that here. Oh, we could also put a little word on here. I don't know what this is going to be, but we're making it. Okay, so how about if we find a little word? I have journal. So you can't see it, but I used a ticket. Oh dear. Okay, what's going on here? There's new cables on the floor. Okay. Okay. Add journal or not? While y'all are contemplating that, let's load up something else. I'm maybe not quite sure how to help you. Alexa off! What does that lady think she's doing? Oh, so I've got a couple of these page tabs. So why don't we do a few page tabs? How's that sound? Ways to hide the ticket, exactly. All right, use the word journal here at the bottom. I think that'll work. All right, I'm gonna set this aside for a moment. And on these, I see I have a bunch. Do we want to make a bunch, or do you just want me to make one and move on? Don't twaddle, Linda. Make one and move on. Or, no, make them all, Linda. Which is it? Okay, I'm trying to pick out a few things that I think I might want to use. I thought I saw... Oh, here we go. A little bit of butterfly. Okay. You never activated my fake person. We are making predominantly white embellishments that we will add soft colors to in our journal. So I've made this predominantly white. I'm going to glue down the word journal, and now I think I also need to put some rhinestones on it. Put that there, and then let's look in here. Let's see if I can get this off. It's not a lot, it's just one little rhinestone, but I think that's kind of pretty. And when you just put that on a page, we may add another piece of paper. You could also glue it on two sides if you want, because it's flimsy, it's not super thick, but it could also be a topper to a tag. I know I have a piece of paper that I was playing around with earlier, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. Oh, I want those. Let's see where it went. Well, I know that there are more in my white scraps. And of course, because I want to find one, there's not any there, right? Well, this isn't the bright white one, but I had some that are bright white. And what we could do is glue that on as a card. What do you think? All right. I've got a mess on my desk. Put this over here. Let's move this over here. Hello, Elijah. That's okay. I'm doing it. I took it as you wanted it, so we're going to do it. You be careful how you troll me, because I will fall for it. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add some dress ink. And I'll go ahead and do the back as well. And this was just in my scraps, so I'm just going to glue that on here. Now, I think I am going to go ahead and glue this all the way down so that these are loose, but this piece of paper is down. And you can write on the back if you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. Okay. Okay. Yay! I like it. And it's got, you know, that softness to it. All right, thank you for your help today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, it's only 4:30. I guess we can't finish, right? Okay. So, since it's Michelle, isn't it? Glitter? So what is your soft color, or were you truly just goofing off and don't really care? I think what I want to do is stamp a little bit on these, and then kind of using the same techniques that we did here with adding stuff on top. So I'm going to lay out a couple of them, maybe like this. I did 2 white and 2 ivory. How's that? Should we do the same image just because we used it once? I can stand up again. I did put the lid on the paint, so that should be good. Right. Ooh. Yes. Okay. 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 I got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So, what is your soft, define soft colors? I have some things here that, like, this is a fairy tale kit. These are leftover pieces, and I love this piece for sure. So I've got some of those, and then these are from, I don't know if that was from the rose kit. So I kind of think they all go together. I think I could blend that together with this. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, so Michelle says, she's calling me glitter. I love the idea, soft pinks, beige, white. I usually end up painting in metallic, even in metallic white. Gotcha. Okay, okay. Fluffy pink. Yeah, a little bit of pink. Okay, so I think I've got what some of the other color embellishment that we're going to add to it, but I wanted to kind of make a few things that didn't have the pink in there so that when we put stuff with it, it kind of blends together. I hope that makes sense. So we have a plan. All right, so I am inking this up, and I'm going to position this so I can stand up. I think I need to go this way. Make it long and skinny. All right, so I'm going to push this on here, stand up and press. Champagne gold, Julie says. That real pale gold. Yeah, see how those look? So I was thinking of adding some lace to these, but I like how these look just as they are. So we're going to do 4 of these without lace and stuff right now. Okay? And I've got, well, we got 4, enough to do 4 more. So with these 4, I'm going to use the same image, but we're going to go ahead and decorate them. And if we get inspired, we'll pick up the first set and do something with it. Yeah, we gotta take inspiration everywhere we get it, you know? Even if we're being silly and we're like, well, I wonder, what would tangerine and green look like together? Well, you know, that was popular back in the 70s. But it can be popular again. All right, let's stamp those. Sorry, getting a close-up of my chest there. Oh, yeah, I like it. And I haven't used this stamp in a long time. Okay, I like that. So, what I've done in the past, and I am going to use the first set because the second set has a better impression. So, in the past, what I've done is I have laid some lace and some fibers. And I think I saw, okay, I've got a real narrow lace here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of lay these where it comes from the edges. And then what I did in the past is I just stitched over all the little pieces that I ended up putting on top. And you can trim it. You can make it different. All right, I've got some of this little fuzzy fiber. I don't know if we want it, but I'm going to put some on there. Okay, and then I think I want to do a little bit of some thread. So I'm just going to unwind some. And then I'll just lay a little bit on top. And then I'm going to stitch over that. Does that make sense? So I'm making these little piles that I'm going to stitch upon here in a moment. All right. What do we got now? A green tangerine tambourine. Yep, there you go. Oh, I forgot to show y'all my nails. I can't remember if I have already worn these or not, but I saw them in my box and I was like, you know, I think I'm in the mood to have a little bit of green. Using up stuff. This is cool. Oopsie. Oh, I think we need a piece of that that fuzzy yarn, don't we? The glittery looking yarn. Okay, I got that. I may need that. And I've got some of this. If I can find where the end is. Here we go. Oopsie. You stay there. Okay. So now we're going to go over to the sewing machine. Sewing lamb. And I'm going to stitch on these in a diagonal fashion. So it kind of catches all of those. And it's okay if it doesn't get all of them. It's going to get enough of them that it will stay together. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Come on, Pooter. Do your thing. Hello? Okay. No? You're not going to do it? There you go. You're being slow today, little bugger. All right, so I'm just going to kind of start it at a diagonal and just stitch across. Oh, and I just remembered. Well, I don't know. I may have to, let me see. Oh, yeah. It straightened out itself. How weird. All right, get the next one. Ooh. All right, I'm just trying to get it all contained. Get it all in one spot. Here we go. There we go. Oh. So when we fold this over a page, you'll get all of this stuff. And you can choose to put something else over that if you want. All right, let's do another. All right, so we've made a tag. Now we're making some tabs. Ah, I think something's wrong. Yep. Okay, it's time to redo this. What is going on with you that you decided that this was not how you were going to work today? We're going to redo this. Come on. There we go. Well, I'm going to try to cut that thread off because it does add bulk. There we go. There we go. I got it off. So now we're just going to assume that it's going to work. There we go. It happens. There. We got it. One last one. Last one. There we go. It's been a long time since I've made little tabs like this. Go back over here. Ooh, you got a new rose gold laptop? Nice. Pretty, pretty. All right, so here's how they look when you fold them in half. They have little bits here and there popping off. And then you could go even further and put words if you want. I don't know if I have any. Oh, here we go. How about this? So if we were to put the tab's going to go on the page, and I guess I would go this way. And you could put, I did this on the edge. Does that make sense? This could also be a topper for a tag. Do you want me to go ahead and put the sayings on these or leave them as they are for when we actually put them in the journal? We can decide then. Okay. So then we've got these. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to kind of make a pile so that I have all the things that we made already. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to make like little labels that I can put into the journal on pages that, you know, it's going to have like journal and then I'll have a bigger piece of paper behind it. Now, I did paint some of these earlier. No words. Okay. No words. I'll save them. Okay. So I'm just going to lay those up there for now. You know, we may come back when we make the actual journal and add stuff to it. Maybe we'll add rhinestones or something, okay? All right. So I'm thinking that what I want to do is I've got this book page and I'm trying to get it smoothed out here. Okay, I know I saw a piece of fabric that I cut just a little while ago. Here it is. So I have white fabric, and then I have the word journal in white. I haven't gone around the edges yet to distress that. Another thing I have is I have these tickets that were from Canvas Court brands, and I'm kind of think I like the way that looks. So one of these is going to have this look. What I'm going to do is glue down just a dot the fabric and then the word journal, and then I'm going to take my zigzag stitch and stitch all the way around. I think that would be a good look. And then this can be, you know, added to anything. It may be that we make a pocket, and then this goes on the front of the pocket. You know, it's embellishment. I don't know, I thought y'all might enjoy this, you know, kind of going through the process of making some different pieces that could be used. And if you're doing it like I am with the neutrals, you can use these with anything, because if I want, for example, this is a start of a little envelope, but I could put that on the front of here and that's going to look good. I'm going to go ahead and stitch this real fast. Let's go sewing. Uh-oh, cupcakes baking. Oh, I have to tell you this. So, we have 2 bird feeders in our backyard. I'm waiting on it to go to the sewing machine. And I've been putting, because Henry buys it, chipped sunflowers, because we didn't want anything with real seeds that could potentially plant in my yard, because I've been fighting for years this one particular sunflower thing that was in a seed. And the squirrels have decided that they are here for that food that I put out for them. Not the birds, it's for the squirrels. So now at our shop we have pecan trees, and last year, I think maybe it was 2 years ago, we had a huge pecan growth. So Henry picked up a bunch of pecans, and he started feeding the pecans to the squirrels. And so now they are coming into the room off the back of my house, basically begging for food. So that sunflower thing is moved to your yard. It's crazy. Those things get around. See how that would look on there? I like it. I'm going to put that up here. So we made one of those. It says journal. I've got this I got another ticket here. Let me see what else I could use. That would fit on there, and that would fit on there. Okay, so I've got two more. This one's going to be different though, because it's not on a bigger piece of paper. I need another ticket. So it's been funny. The squirrels have, been at our back door begging for food. They're just starving. Oh dear. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some distress inks to these pieces and layer them up again. Sugar. Why are we talking about sugar now? Sugar's necessary. Raw sugar. I have to have sweet tea, so sugar in my tea, please. Yeah, stay away from aspartame, sucralose, methyldextrin. Yep. Okay, I've got some words. Honey. Your life. Sugar. Enjoy life for sure. For sure. I have been, since January 1st, I made myself a promise that I was going to walk a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. And except for 2 days when I was extremely sick with something that I would not wish upon my worst enemy, I have stepped at least 10,000 steps a day. And in some cases, I have stepped between 15 and 26,000 steps a day. It kind of depends upon what I'm doing. And here the past month, I've made it a goal to try to do 15,000 steps a day. Just to stay active, moving around and not just sitting in one place all the time. Because when we go on a cruise, we usually have to walk everywhere. And I want to make sure that I can get there. All right. I'm thinking, I guess I could stitch around that. I think that would look okay. So I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and stitch in that. Oh, you grow your own. Oh, I didn't change the view back. Sorry. I made these because I thought the view switched back, but apparently it did not. Okay. Just going to stitch on here. Slowly going around. Oh, the lights just flickered. Are we getting a thunderstorm? I'm just going to the end. Oh, I need to go one more. There. Okay. Okay. I think these are kind of cute. A different embellishment, you know. And again, it could be applied directly to the page. Could be put on top of a pocket. Collect beautiful moments. All right, so that's going to go there. You ate all of it? You didn't save any for her? Well, that's just wrong. How dare you? I got some cashews out earlier. Hercules hasn't been feeling well today. He had an upset tummy this morning and left evidence of an upset tummy around the kitchen area. We had to mop the floors, clean up, mop the floors a couple times. He's been asleep until right at 3:35. I saw that he was awake. So I thought, well, I better take him outside. And he went out and then he went and laid down. Normally he comes in here. He seems to be sleeping just fine at the moment. There is beauty in simplicity. All right, let's see if I can make this switch back. Switch, switch, switch. All right, so a couple little, mostly white embellishments. Okay. I have this, and I thought that would be kind of neat as a pocket topper maybe. And I know that I used the ivory, but I thought I saw a piece of fabric here. It's a lighter shade of ivory, but I know I saw some more fabric. Where is it? No, that's a lace. Ah, that's where it is. I was like, I knew I had some more fabric here. I'm thinking I've got this white here, and if I were to make like we did with this one, but put the white fabric and then maybe put another piece of cardstock or make another thing for this to go on. Maybe it's time to make it a piece of ephemera now. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Put the fabric together. Put you over there. Find where the end. Oh, knocked my scissors off. Find the end. And this has been torn before, so I see the edge has been torn. I want to tear this to be wide enough that you kind of get a good border around it. So I'm going to come down to about here and cut that to a strip. So now we have a really long piece. So I'm going to go ahead. This was a big, big piece I got. I think Jennifer was with me. We had stopped in a wholesale place that sells some of the samples and overstock and that kind of stuff that Hobby Lobby sells. And they had this bundle of white fabric, and it was so cheap for, I don't remember, it was like I think it was 6 yards because it was a bunch. And this is all that's left. I used it for a subscription box. All right, let's put this in here. You know, I saw some ribbon. Where did I see that ribbon? I was digging around and I saw a roll of ribbon. It's not in there. I decided I didn't want it, but now I want it. Well, darn, what did I see that? Oh, was it in here? Yes. Oh, yeah, and then I found these. And then I found these too. They're like little rolls of flowers. Okay, I found this ribbon. I don't know if it's too narrow. Okay, it's too narrow, but maybe we'll find another reason to use it, right? So here's what we got to do. Get to the end, and I'm going to cut that off. Kind of frayed a little bit. And then I want this to be a little bit bigger. Okay. There. And then if we put this on top of that, and I think if I stitch around it, I might want to go ahead and put a piece of fabric or a piece of paper behind it. So maybe I've got a book page here. Let me tear one out. So I've got this book page that we could put that on top of, and that could be the start of a pocket. Let me see how big this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5-ish. Okay, so I'm thinking, is that too narrow? Maybe what I'll do for now is stick it on there. And then if I want to make this into a pocket, I'm going to put it right in the middle. Then I can fold down the edge and fold in the sides, or add another piece of paper to the back side. So I'm just going to glue it down. And then I'll add a little bit of glue here, just so it doesn't move around on me too much when I go to the sewing machine. All right, so I'm leaving myself an option that if I want to, I could, in theory, fold this back and fold the other edges in and maybe make this a pocket or make it an embellishment to go somewhere else. So I thought I'd give me the option of how I want to configure this by leaving it as the full sheet. And I'm just going to stitch right around the word bloom. Oh, the little, I don't know what little flowers you missed. Oh, I was going to tell y'all, my gladiola bloomed. Can you see that? Aren't they pretty? They're kind of a peachy color. I got this at, I bought the bulbs at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. And I decided, okay, I bought 2 packages of them. It's $2.50, you know. Okay, we'll see what happens. And I put them in a pot, and that was the first one to bloom. And it looks like another one is getting ready to bloom. All right, I'm just going to stitch around the frame here. Just going around. I'm kind of liking this mostly white, using the ivories. I didn't think I would because I am so much for color, but I think by adding the different shades, what I call a neutral colors, kind of helps. Aren't they pretty? Thank you. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. That's something that, again, I may not decide right now, but it could become a pocket that we put on the page. It could make it a journal card topper or something, but I think it's going to be a pocket. Oh, the power flickered again. I don't know what's going on. Okay, what else? What else? What else? This is in the way. You go up here. What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, the paper bag. So I've got this paper bag. And I've got a paper clip because I know I need a altered paper clip. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Well, I'll get another one. That's easier to do than sit here searching. Okay, got a paper clip. So my thought was, I want to fold this up and then fold this down. So here's the start of some ephemera, and I'm going to have a paper clip that'll clip this close. So now I need to decorate it. After touching that, it's just the acrylic paint on there. So I think what I want to do now is stamp maybe on the paper sack and then layer some papers, in a sense, you know, make something that we could put on here. If I wanted to, I could put this as a tuck that you just pop out. That could be something that we do. I do have some scrapbook papers that we could use as well. So I think the first thing I want to do is stamp. Do I want to stamp to where the matches up? Well, we might as well do it where it matches up. Put this back over here. But which one? Which one should we do, my friends? All right. I've got the henna rose already out here. Unless... Oh, no. I thought maybe I had another one on a block already. All right. I'm going to hold this. Oh, I do have a storm coming? I was wondering. So if we lose the electricity, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp across here. And I want to do the bottom. Thank you for letting me know. I was trying to decide if what I want to do is glue this on a page and then you can open it up. Maybe even make this another pocket right here. Oh, sorry, I'm probably not in the shot. Sorry, y'all. So do we just glue it on the sides and there's a pocket here, and you can also put things in there? Or do we make it to where it opens and maybe we'll add a piece of paper here to write and maybe figure out something I could stick in there? Only thing I can think of is I may want to cut a hole in this and then add some paper on top. Tell me. I was looking for my paper that I want to use today. Here we go. Things are crushing down. Oh my. I should try to use those. I'll put them over here. Okay. So my thinking is if I take this, have it open and glue the base so it's a pocket. All right, so this would be glued down on the page, and you could put something behind it or open this and you can put something in here if you want, is what I'm thinking. Now, do I want to cover the whole thing or just where I may do it to there, and I'm going to trim this off just a smidge. Okay. Typos. Picket fence. Picket fence would be cute. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so if I put this here, and I was thinking of gluing that down, maybe I can stencil over the top of it, or I can spray it with some Tattered Angels. I've got some Precious, I think is what it's called. All right, I'm going to add some distress inks to the edges. I have a paper pad that I got that has different types of white pearlized papers. They're really quite pretty. It's all cardstock. I'm thinking I'm going to look for the precious metal. Hopefully it is not clogged so I can use it. This one's called Pearl. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to spray this if I can get it to work. Let's see what happens. Oh, not gonna work. All right, let's see what happens with this one. I may need to replace the sprayer on it. Oh, that's a pinky color. I think the sprayer may have had a different color in it, but you know, I think that'll be okay. I think we're going to leave it out. So I'm going to leave that out in case I want to use it again. That was something I got on sale, but now I know why. Either I took the sprayer off and put a different one on because the sprayer around here is pink. Okay, let's dry that real fast. A little bit. All right, I put some distress inks on there. I think that would be kind of pretty. Let's see. In my paper. Oh, I forgot I had this. I'm going to cut a piece of that to make the pocket here. And we can put stuff in that that'll be, yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so. I think so. I need my marking utensil, please. Here we go. So what I want to do, and I'm okay with cutting up where the label is. I want it about here, and then I do that. Okay, I want about here. So I'm going to cut a strip. Okay. Here we go. And then we'll cut this way. And let's see how we did. So I can put that on the front here. I think I need to trim it just a little bit narrower. Because it'll look better visually. Okay. So here we could make this a little pocket, but I think what I want to do is glue this down and open the bag so that we have the full size of this, because when we fold this over, we could pull the tag out this way, or it would have to be where I punch a thumb hole here so that it fits down in the pocket. Does that make sense? So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to get a circle punch so that I can punch that portion out when I'm ready. And I moved some part punches. This one's a big one, but I may look for a smaller one. Let me see if I got it. Yeah. I think this is the size I'm going to use. So I'm going to add some distress inks to this piece. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I think cut this. So first I'm going to cut across here to make a pocket. Let's go over here. Whoopsie, it went flying. Okay. So this opens now, okay? So we have a pocket here. I'm going to glue this part. Okay. Make sure that's glued shut pretty good. And I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this portion. There. And then take this piece and I'm going to put glue kind of on the sides here so that when I go to punch, I don't punch through glue. Yeah, this is where I want that. I was like, did I do that wrong? What happened? Yes, okay, this is right. I was trying to figure out, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, got the right, that's the right spot. Okay. I'm losing it, y'all. Okay, so let's find the center. So that would be right here. Just going to make a little half circle. There. So now, if I find a journal card the right size, this is pretty close. So I can slide this in here. Come on. And then cut it so that we can pull that tab right there. Does that make sense? And we can add some embellishments on top of this fancy paper. Now, do I want to make this snug fit. Probably shouldn't. So I'm going to take my pen and just make a little tick. And cut this off. Set that over there. Now, should I round the corners of this piece? So that'll go in here. Okay, and then this will close. But we can open this up because it's going to have this on here. What did I do wrong? I guess, oh, I see. Okay. For some reason, something was not computing. Okay, I think now what I want to do is add some kind of decoration to this piece. I know that this is not pink, so do I want to round the corners? Do I need to add pink to that? Yes, round the corners. Okay, getting that. I got this paper sack. I don't even know where I got it. Henry either bought something for me or I bought something, and the little vendor just put it in this little paper sack, and I was on the counter in the kitchen. I was like, oh, I'll bring that in my craft room and see what I can make with it. Okay. I think my nose is itchy, itchy. Do we want to... Oh, got to get it up here. If I were to glue that flower, I think that would be kind of cute. Want to turn it this way? Okay, I'm just going to glue the flower directly on the card. Oh, but wait. Let's add... Where is it? Where is it? Where did it go? Really? I just had it. Did my cheesecloth run away? I didn't put it back in there. That is so weird. It must be because Robin made the decision that I wasn't going to be allowed to use anymore. And you know I'll find it once I cut another piece, right? Well, I'm not going to use it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. All right, let's line this up and then put it right about there. Okay, so this will go in here. And I am going to decorate this piece with... Ooh, what if we did this? Oh, and I've got a little postcard. Just kind of glue those down. Can't stand. I have a little leaf. What do you think of that? I'm still trying to decide if I want to do anything different on that pink piece of paper. Easier to get it out when it has rounded corners. Gotcha. I never... Oh, my hair. My hair came down. I guess I haven't really tried to experiment with which is better, round or square, you know. So since you've done that research for me, I appreciate it. Okay, you like it? So I'm going to put some glue on here. And then glue this. And then we'll glue this. There. Now, I think what I want to do is stencil, and I've got the Feeding Frenzy stencil. So I'm going to lay that on here. And I think I'm just going to stencil with a brown. Let's see. I'll just do a little bit. Just a faint look to it. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this down. Glue this portion down in the back. So we have this full piece here that we can write upon. Well, thank you, Julie. It's one of my favorite stencils. I made it around the time that I was sitting in my backyard and I kept seeing hummingbirds and watching them go from the feeders and the flowers and just everywhere. Just you could see that feeding frenzy that they have to hurry up and you got to eat the nectar now. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this portion. So I glued that so that it'll be easier, hopefully, to get the card in and out. Okay. Now, I have this little piece of lace, or I have this little piece of lace, and I can't, they don't, either one stand out to me, so I think I'm going to leave it. So we need to be able to put a card in here, right? Or do I just leave this open for somebody else to put something in? And let's just work on how we're going to close and decorate the front. One option is to use an altered paper clip, which could then allow this to be put on either side, okay? And then we just add a little embellishment to the front, similar to what we did earlier with the ticket. I'm thinking I started a butterfly, but maybe this time we'll use a dragonfly. Looking. Oh, I've got a little heart. What else do I have in here? I forgot what I was looking for. Ticket. Ugh. I couldn't find it. I was getting distracted. Okay, so I got this piece. I have a heart. I could put a piece of lace. Maybe do a little collage with the I think I'm not going to do that, but if I had, oh, you know, we have that big piece of white fabric that I used earlier. Why not take a piece of this, about the same size as the ticket? Another way to hide the tickets, y'all. It's funny that I have them, but I haven't been using them. So, and of course now every time I do, I'm covering it up so you can't even see it. But all right, so I've got a little piece of fabric and I have this little heart and maybe the dragonfly. Kind of put that on there. So, should we change this little heart? I'm thinking maybe I need to stamp. Do I have out the... I have this little rose. I have this little rose that I could stamp it right in the middle. Or I have the henna rose I could stamp over the whole thing, which is this. I'm kind of thinking maybe what I should do is stamp this and fussy cut one out. Now, do we want to do it on a different color? Like this is kind of a beigey, ivory color. I'm all over the place there, aren't I? Hide the ticket! All right, so let's stamp that. Dry. And then I'll fussy cut this out if I can see. Do, 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 do. All right, so y'all need to tell me, should I make a card to go inside the paper sack? We made it in the pocket, but I haven't made one that goes inside the paper sack. What are your thoughts? Folding them, making tabs. Yep, yep. Oopsie. So here's what I was thinking, was kind of putting that, maybe something like that. Now I want my cheesecloth. Where is it? Well, you know what? The scissors are still out. It's probably laying here right in my face, and I just can't see it because it went small, you know. Okay. There. So now I've got a little. So here's my thinking. Take these pieces, put that under there, this on top. I kind of like that. It's just a little collage. Adding that in there. Buried. It's buried. Put a car in the sack. Oh my goodness. I have to find a car. Okay. So that this will stay together, I'm going to run a stitch over it or two. So here we go, back to the sewing machine. I may even go ahead and just do it on the outside edge. If I get it to go. That's the hard thing about working with something like this. I can't get my finger under it. All right. I'm going to go this way. If it'll do it. 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 There. Okay, so now go back over here. So I'm going to kind of, and then add, I don't know if I should do the butterfly as opposed to the dragonfly. I think maybe the butterfly may stand out a little better. No, I won't. Gotcha. So you would use a staple and stack all of it on top and then glue the top piece that would leave it all the edges loose. Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to glue down the postcard piece. And that's going to go right here. Okay. And then I'm going to glue down the heart. Nope, not going to see me sew my fingers. I'm pretty good at it. I haven't sewed my fingers but once in my lifetime. Okay. What is this? Just a little scrappy scrap? There's a tiny, tiny scrap of paper that apparently wants to be put on here, so it's going. Okay. I'm going to put this little rose kind of right there. And then put the butterfly. I think the butterfly is a better choice. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to make a card to go inside of here. And I think we did pretty good on making some ephemera. In fact, I think I want to do it again next week. What do you say? If I have another session making some different types of ephemera. I'm going to position this so that it's just below and we can tuck the envelope into it. How's that? And now we can put some rhinestones on there. Let me see. Let's put a little rhinestone. I like it. Yay! Yes, please. Yes, more next week. Okay. I'm glad you like what I've come up with so far. All right, so let's make a card that's going to go in the pocket. And I think I will go ahead and make a simple altered paper clip. So maybe something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 inches. And I've got this one. I'm just going to layer a few things and then we're going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch it. I had some of this fibers, so we'll get a few of those in there. And we've got this one. Come on. Especially since I don't tend to make a lot of altered paper clips these days, so I really wanted to take a moment. Okay, I kind of like that. I don't think it needs... Oh, I found a piece of the cheesecloth. It keeps getting wadded up. I think that'll be good. So I'm going to poke it through. As soon as I find my little piece of thread. So I got a little piece of thread here. Put it through here. Put this like this. Then this is going to go through here. Okay. Wrangle that all into place. And I'm just going to go to the sewing machine and stitch really close to the paper clip. And that'll hold all that together. All right, good. I'll do it again next week. All right, get that under there. Cute, cute, cute. You know what I haven't done in a while is added charms to these. So that might be something that next week I'll add some charms to that. Okay, so we need a card for the inside. I'm going to put my sewing scissors away for a moment. I need to measure this. So we're approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I did maybe like a 3 and 7/5 by 4 and 7/5, that's probably the right size card. I've got a piece of paper here that I think we could use. So let's see. That's a little narrower, so I don't have to cut it. And another thing I could do is fold it. Let's do that. I'm going to fold this in half. Crease it. Let's round the corners. Okay. I'm going to add some distress inks. This was a scrap that was in my scrap bin, and it has a little tiny dot of ink on it. Okay, see there? But I think I got an idea that I could do. I can glue down a dragonfly over that, and then you won't see it, right? So if I were to glue this on here, I think that looks kind of cute on the inside, so we're going to do it. Since I couldn't use the dragonfly on the front, I can use it on a card. Now, I thought I saw, this may be too big. Oh, I have one of these in gold. I think that's too big. Yeah, won't fit in there. But I've got a gold butterfly. And I thought I had something else, like a rose or something. So, okay. So if we did that, maybe what we should do is get another piece of this fabric. If I can get the end. Come on. Get my fabric scissors. And maybe put some stamping in the white area. Let me go ahead and fray that a little bit. I think we need a little stamping in the background. And I have, oh, do I want to use that one? We'll just use this one. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get this little fray. There. I think that looks cute on the front of there. You love the gold butterfly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I did some gold embossing. I thought that would be a pretty alternative instead of just doing the same thing over and over and over. Okay. Okay, I think I may have, do I have, oh, let's see. Oh, I thought I had a gold thread in here, but I do not see a gold thread. Let me check one other spot. Nope. Okay. One more place. I don't see any gold in there. I see ivory. I was trying to decide if I wanted a little bit underneath. Where? What do I want to do next? Well, I don't want it to be too bulky going in there, so I'm just going to glue it down the way it is. Okay. You have some gold butterflies? Well, see, get them out and use them. Look at there. All right, so now we have our envelope, our what was this? Paper sack. So I'm going to take this card, and it will fit down in here. And this can close here, and this can go on there. Let's get some stuff out of the way so y'all can see. And, you know, we can still add other embellishments to the things that I did make. So I've got this one. This will be glued onto a page. So depending on if you want to put it on the left or the right, put it close to the edge so that you could put the paper clip on it to help hold it in place, because it's going to lift a little bit. And we can open here, and in this first pocket we'll have this standing journal card. And then if you look inside, we have all this writing space. I think now up here I want to add another flower, because we put one on the inside there, but what if we put one at the top right there? I think that'll work. Yes. So put a little glue on the back here. Okay. Glue it down. See, sometimes you can't force what you put down. If it doesn't feel right, say, okay, I'll just come back to it. Do it later. There. Because then we have a card here that we pull out that mimics that right there. How's that sound? Paper clips, you haven't made any so long, so thank you. You're welcome for reminding you. They are fun to make, you know, so why not make a few of them? All right, let's put this back in here. All right, why are you fighting me now? Did I get it cross-threaded? Oh, I'm trying to go too far. I was like, what are you doing? All right, and then this kind of pokes behind here, and then we have a little altered paper clip. So that was one of the projects, and this one I thought was just, you know, you can take it to different levels. You could just stamp, or you can stamp and add. So there's a few of those that I made. Another one. And then doing the words, you know, adding frames to the words. I have a whole bunch of these tickets, so I'm going to try to think of some other ideas that I can use with these tickets so I can use them up, because I have a bunch. And then of course this was the bloom stamped on a ivory paper and stitched around, and then used the fabric. Hey, if y'all haven't gotten in on the raffle, do so. And then the very first thing I made which, you know, it just kind of evolved. I started with a piece of lace and I added some fabric and some more fibers, a stamped image. I had a ticket that's hidden under there. So we have like a tag that could possibly be put, you know, behind, say, that envelope. Wouldn't that be pretty? Or it could be coming out of, if this was a pocket, that would look really good too. So I've got some good starts here. I'm going to keep all of these together. Put polka dots over the tickets. How funny. Junkie Joe has the crown because he's been talking. Oh dear. Super glue a pom-pom to the top of a paper clip, Fifi. Ah, there you go. You got a toy for the cat. Well, I hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to pick a winner of the raffle. We're going to pick up again next week and do some more. I have some more stamped images that I want to try to incorporate. I have a list of things that I want to share and maybe do. Maybe some more altered paper clips. I think that would be good. Ticket clusters. Oh yeah, I was going to get out the library card stamp and make a library pocket for that. And then maybe a belly band. I haven't decided what size journal that I want to make. If I make it 6 by 12 like we did the black and white journal, that'd be kind of cool because it'd be the same size side by side. I do have more of that white paper that I use for the cover, so I could definitely use some more of that and have that bright white. I have some laces that I've set aside, trying to figure out what to do with them, because I have it in my mindset so long now to make sure that I have plenty to do more than one, because I always did everything in multiple. So I am trying to do as many non-multiples as possible. Do I want to be your best friend? I thought I was already your best friend. Okay, more paper clips. Okay, we'll do some more designs of paper clips. Maybe some with some dangles coming off of them too. All right, let's pick a winner. The winner is... Call Me Glitter. All right, let me go over to the currency and then type Call Me Glitter. There you are. And we're going to edit. And you got 200 junk bucks. Oh, that went the wrong direction. There we go. Submit. Well, thank you so very much. Congratulations. You're rambling. Well, I'm going to get off here. Henry should be home soon and we'll eat some dinner. We'll get back on next week and I'll come up with a few more ideas using my list. So hopefully that gives you guys and gals something to look forward to. Do definitely, if you have any comments about what I should do next time, let me know in the comments below. That way I can see it and come back and look at it. Thank you for your donations. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words and being here today. I hope you're inspired. I hope it's giving you some ideas of things that you could make with what you have already, you know. You're very welcome. Very welcome. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. Y'all be good out there to others. You never know what someone else is going through, so share kindness whenever you can. And if you're not creating, do so. Get in your little stash of goodies, make something. Just as simple as you can or as elaborate as you want, and have some fun and just kind of let go and be creative. Y'all have an amazing week. I'll see you next week. Lots of love to everybody. Bye.